2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, says Nigerian presidency should be one term of 5 years like South Korea. West African Examination Council releases revised 2025 results, apologizes for grading error. And police cite forgery, cyber stalking in Showore's arrest, deny torture allegations. It's a pleasure to have you join News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Okpayemi Owoshini. We begin with politics as the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has advocated a single term of 5 years for the office of the President of Nigeria. Obi believes a single term would focus the president on delivering results within a fixed time frame. Peter Obi will disclose this when he paid a visit to the Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed at the Government House in Bauchi. Said this was the practice in South Korea, where the president cannot seek re-election after a single term of 5 years in office.
If I have opportunity of serving this country, every party will function properly as a political party. I will ensure they function properly. By having parties the way parties should be, parties are supposed to be bigger than the elected people. That's what it is. I've seen here where they say president is the leader of the party. No, I disagree. I wouldn't have it if I have the opportunity. I want the party to be bigger than the president so that we can build orderliness. I want the party to be bigger than governor so that we can have orderliness. So we can subject ourselves to that. That's what it should be. Because parties will outlive us. Look at the ANC in South Africa. Has outlived Mandela, Mbeki, Zuma, I will outlive. But here, everybody destroys the others is living. We want to build what is sustainable for our children. So for me, I believe that right now, we are going through difficulties in all the parties. So what we're trying to do is to navigate where we'll come together and resolve to do the right thing for the future of our children.
Still on politics, the Nafi Bala faction of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, says former Senate President David Mark is not a bona fide member of the party. In a statement issued by Aminu Alazans, Bala's Special Assistant on Public Affairs, said the constitution of a new National Working Committee led by David Mark is a clear violation of the party's constitution. Alazan said only bona fide members of the party can aspire for leadership positions. He also added that Mark and his purported NWC team are not a representation of the ADC, but a blatant disregard for the democratic principles of what the party stands for. A former chairman of the People's Democratic Party and the Minister of Agriculture from 2015 to 2019, Audu Ogbe, is dead. He died on Saturday, August 9, 2025, at the age of 78. His family announced his death in a statement on Saturday. Ogbe was the PDP chairman from 2001 to 2005 and also served as minister under late former President Muhammadu Buhari. He was also Federal Minister of Communications from 1982 to 1983 during the Shehu Shagari administration. In other stories now, in a surprising turn of events, the West African Examination Council WAEC has announced updated results for the 2025 West African Senior School Certificate Examination after identifying a significant grading error. Initially released on August 4, 2025, the result indicated a stark decline in candidate performance, leading to widespread concerns among students and stakeholders. During a press briefing held on August 8, 2025, the head of the Nigerian National Office of WAEC, Amos Dangote, expressed regret over the inaccuracies discovered in the scoring of certain examination papers. The original result announced that only candidates representing 38.32% had passed with credit in at least 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics.
In a very, very unfortunate situation The glitch, the bug, was caused by one of our service provider. The people responsible for printing the examination question paper. You will recall I said those who sat the examination using the computer-based version, the CBWAS version in the examination were not affected. What happened is that they were given the files to produce. And in the case of the English paper 1 and 3, they erroneously use one file to print the two, whereas each of the paper has a file of its own. We have detected this, we have called them to the meeting, they have apologized, but I want to assure you and Nigerians that that is unpardonable. That is the situation. The apology is not just in word, verbally, but there's also a written apology. Now, the results already used. We have corrected this scenario. We will also take steps to ensure that those candidates that have already used their results do not suffer. So we will go ahead to do the needful so that the right results will be recognized.
The Nigerian police force has defended the arrest of human rights activist Omoyele Sowore, citing allegations of forgery, cyber stalking and other offences, while dismissing claims that he was tortured in custody. In a statement issued on Friday and signed by Force Public Relations Officer, Force Headquarters Abuja, DCP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, the police said Sowore's detention was lawful and carried out in full compliance with extant legal provisions and with strict adherence to constitutional safeguards, due process, and the rights of the suspect. Adejobi said the activist was arrested based on credible, corroborated allegations involving criminal offences such as forgery, cyber stalking, and other infractions currently under active investigation, and was released on bail well within the 48-hour constitutional window in line with Section 35, subsection 4 of the 1999 Constitution. The statement rejected reports that Sowore was tortured, insisting that the force maintains a zero-tolerance policy for torture in line with the Anti-Torture Act of 2017 and international human rights obligations. To health matters now, diverse reactions have continued to show the recent assurance by NAFDAC and the National Biosafety Management Agency that approved genetically modified organisms are safe for public consumption. Speaking to TV360 Nigeria, a professor of physiology and molecular biology at the University of Lagos, Professor Joseph Minari, said GMOs are largely safe as they undergo rigorous scientific procedures before being approved for market release. However, he emphasized the need for Nigerian regulatory agencies to thoroughly vet all GMO products entering the country to ensure their safety is not compromised.
To a large extent, the GMO is safe. And one major thing that you said that's very, very key is that rigorous scientific procedure are always carried out on some of these things before they are released into the market. There are a lot of ethical consideration that is covering anything genetic, genetic modification or genetic or gene therapy. And so before most of them are being released into the market or into the society, a lot of rigorous scientific checks at different level must have been done before they are being released. And that is why we also have different agencies of government in each country that also need to cross-check to be sure that what they are releasing is actually safe. So if you want to say something is not safe, it's going to be that we are going to look at it scientifically and be able to prove it, or probably we have evidence after use that is actually showing it, and then we're able to correlate it directly that is as a result of what we have been releasing into the market that is actually not making it to be safe. So from a scientific point of view and from the parameters that we've seen so far, I can say that the ones that I know that have been released, they are safe for consumption.
Away from the health sector now, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority says the fate of Fuji legend Wasiu Ayinde, popularly known as K1 the Ultimate, to be determined by the Attorney General of the Federation and the Inspector General of Police. NCAA spokesperson Michael Achimogo made this known in an interview with journalists on Saturday following K1's public apology over his confrontation with value jet officials at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja on Tuesday, August 5, 2025. Achimogo confirmed that petitions against the musician have been submitted to both authorities and further actions will depend on their findings.
Somebody like me should not be found in such incidents. I accept responsibility and appealing to Mr. President, the country, the Honorable Minister for Aviation, the FAAN, the NCAA, and my fans across the globe to please pardon my behavior. Number one, I passed through 2 checkposts and the content of my cup was screened. Need to say I have any content in the cup. Until I got to the lounge while awaiting the boarding of the aircraft, I pour water in it because of my health situation. I need to be sipping water because I'm dehydrated, as recommended by doctor to me. Like I said, I take full responsibility of all incidents.
Meanwhile, aviation experts have commended the NCAA's firm stance on the matter, describing it as a step in the right direction. Speaking exclusively to TV360 Nigeria, aviation analyst Olumide Onwayo said such incidents can happen anywhere, but praised the Nigerian authorities for taking proactive steps to address the situation.
All over the world, we've had people, organizations breaking the civil aviation protocol and processes. It's not weird. A pilot was stopped from flying because he got drunk somewhere in England and was supposed to take that flight to the US. So that you must have bad people with bad attitude all over. What the world wants to judge you with was what were the actions you took when you discovered such infractions, and I can tell you with the decision of the NCAA, the Ministry of Aviation, and FAN, I think that has given us some good marks and position in the world aviation, because they responded swiftly and took decisions. They didn't allow it to settle on the carpet. This is a better one than what happened when Senator Shiomole attempted to close the terminal and stop passengers from boarding because the APC refused to board it. I think this is a better one, and I think this what they've done now should be should be the norm anyway, and should also be sustained, so as we don't have a bit of executive rascality or a VIP who looks at the system and says they have the power to preach it.
Well, let's now head to Borno State, where in a bid to boost electricity and tourism, the Nigerian government has unveiled plans to transform the Alao Dam in Maiduguri into a dual-purpose hydropower and tourist site. The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph Youssef, announced the initiative during an inspection visit to the facility, noting that the project is expected to create jobs for young people and also enhance agricultural productivity across Borno State. TV360's correspondent Solomon Josiah completes this next report.
For decades, the Aliu Dam has been more than just a water source for the people of Aliu and surrounding communities. It's been a lifeline. From fishing to farming, generations have depended on it for survival. But in recent weeks, a steady rise in water levels have stirred anxieties among residents, many fearing that their homes and farmlands could be at risk.
The water level has been rising, and it is really scaring us, just like what happened last year. We want the government to repair the dam because it will boost farming and give us a stable place to live. But right now, as you can see, I have to travel far just to get food because I can't access my farm.
Whenever it rains, the water rises dangerously close to the top of the barrier. It's making us anxious. If it overflows, it could cause serious problem. We are pleading with the government to strengthen the dam and stop the water from spilling over.
The minister's visit came amid growing concern from communities around the dam over rising water levels, which have fueled fears of possible flooding. Addressing these concerns, the ministers assured residents that there is no cause for alarm, explaining that alternative channels have been created to safely discharge excess water and avert any flooding.
There is no cause for alarm for the people of Borno State. There is no cause for alarm for Maiduguri Metropolis. As we can see now, the dam is designed to take up the capacity of 329 cubic meter capacity. As we can see now, the volume is at about 326.8, which is still lower than what is expected at a free board of 22.2. So there is no cause for alarm, and the job the influencers are doing is very, very good. And I've given them directive for what to do. If in case there is heavy rainfall and they are having challenges, I'm happy that the gates are open.
UTIF emphasized that the planned hydropower component and the conversion of the dam into tourism site will further contribute to regional development, creating economic opportunities and improving living standards.
This dam, when upgraded, it is not going to serve as a source of water supply alone. It is going to be used for irrigation, because the Borno State are also known for farming. And the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President, he put agriculture very, very important. And the mandate given to us, we from the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, is that we should boost food production in the country. And Borno State is not let out. Borno State is part of the state that has to do the agriculture activity. And in that line with that, when we are designing the upgrade of this dam, we capture that aspect of irrigation, so that when completed, this dam will be used for water supply, irrigation, and future hydropower.
The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation has disclosed that the dam's original design has been adjusted to focus on water supply and irrigation farming, key measures aimed at improving food security in the state. Officials remain cautiously optimistic that the preventive measures already in place will withstand the anticipated heavy rains in the weeks ahead. Solomon Josiah, TV360, Borno.
An Humanitarian Group, Resilience Rising and Community Development, has appealed to Nigerians to support the less privileged in their communities, noting that such compassion can restore hope and save lives. The executive director of the organization, Folorunsho Akinola, made the call during a visit to ask a pregnant widow in Ebutemeta, Lagos, who had completed suicide due to lack of support. The group swiftly responded to a distress call and delivered essential baby items as recommended by medical professionals. Akinola expressed fulfillment in helping the widow and unborn child, encouraging others in similar situations to remain hopeful and seek help rather than give up in despair.
I received a call from one of our sisters that she wanted to kill herself. And I said, okay, just give me 30 minutes. I will be in Ebutemeta. Then I was at MFM. I have a project I was doing there. So when I came, so I asked different questions that what happened. She now explained to me. I said, don't worry. Our NGO will come to our aid. I'm very, very happy because it's one of our mission. Our mission is to help. So thank God for today. I'm very, very happy. At the end of the day, the baby inside will be happy. Definitely she too will be happy. Then one of our sisters will be happy. Then our grandma will be happy. I will encourage my colleagues outside there, those who have a foundation and other philanthropy, that them too they should try and do something like this?
I came here January when it was 1 month, and I wanted to remove it, and I met this auntie, and she advised me that I should not remove it, that it is bad, that if in case I remove it now, that did I know if I'm going to die or not. So I just decided to keep it.
We'll go on a short break here, but still to come on news now. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres urges ethical use of AI for indigenous peoples. Details of the story right after this break. Welcome back. Now let's take you through a recap of our top stories. The 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has advocated a single term of 5 years for the office of the President of Nigeria. Obi said this would make the occupier know that they have a job to do within the limited time available. We also informed you that the Nigerian police force has defended the arrest of human rights activist Omoyele Sowore, citing allegations of forgery, cyber stalking and other offences, while dismissing claims that he was tortured in custody. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us online Maxwell TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on X, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. And in the world of business, the Dangote Refinery has commenced phased receipt of the 4,000 compressed natural gas trucks as its petroleum product distribution operations expected to kick off across the country. The development forms part of the company's logistics program to reroute product distribution this month. The initiative hopes to transform distribution landscape in Nigeria by reducing logistics costs and enhancing supply efficiency for customers. In June 2025, the refinery said it invested over 720 billion naira to implement the landmark initiative for the nationwide distribution of petroleum products, which is expected to save Nigerians over 1.7 trillion naira annually. And on the foreign scene, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, has called for inclusive and ethical development of artificial intelligence to protect the rights and knowledge of indigenous peoples. He made the call in a message to commemorate the 2025 International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples. Guterres noted that while AI can help preserve indigenous languages, map ancestral lands, and support climate action, it also poses risk of exclusion, cultural misinterpretation, and right violations if indigenous communities are not actively involved.
Indigenous peoples are guardians of ancient knowledge, defenders of cultural heritage, stewards of biodiversity, and essential to our shared future. This year's theme focuses on the risks and rewards of artificial intelligence for indigenous peoples. AI can help preserve endangered language and oral histories, map ancestral lands, and amplify indigenous wisdom to fight climate change. But without the meaningful participation of indigenous peoples, these same technologies risk perpetuating old patterns of exclusion, misrepresenting cultures, and violating fundamental rights. We must ensure AI is developed and governed in ways that are inclusive, ethical, and just. That means removing barriers to new technologies for indigenous peoples, protecting their data sovereignty and intellectual property rights, and supporting their meaningful inclusion on the application of AI. On this important day, let's build a future where technology supports cultural preservation and indigenous knowledge, protects rights and advances dignity for today and generations to come.
And finally on sport, former Nigeria international John Utaka has been named the new head coach of Montpellier's women's side in France, taking over from outgoing manager Frederic Mendy. The 43-year-old will share coaching duties with Baptiste Mel until the end of the current campaign, with both working closely under the guidance of sporting director Jean-Louis. The appointment is a milestone for Utaka, making him the only African head coach in France's top-tier women's league. And wraps up our news bulletin on News Now at this time. Many thanks for joining us. I'm Okbayemi Owosheni. See you next time.